Why do I clip? It's a good question. Why do I clip? I mean, why does a quarterback throw a ball or a runner run? An equestrianist ride horses? Because it's in their nature, you know. It's ingrained in them. And like them, that's why I clip. But there's something more. It's the rush.
When I look out my window, many sights to see. And when I look in my window, so many different people to be, that it's strange, so strange. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. You got to pick up every stitch. Must be the season of the witch. Must be the season of the witch, yeah. Must be the season of the witch.
The sport of card flipping, known as clipping, was invented by my grandfather, Moses a Bear.
Clipping is a fag sport. I mean, just look at Brian. If he's not gay, I'm not.
I love clipping. I love every moment of it. I love the feeling as the card flicks up and you catch it, boom, one kick. There's nothing like it. I mean, you could have a million orgasms and never come close. Well, I figured anyway. I haven't actually had an orgasm.
Clipping's not a talent, it's something that's learned. You know, I've practiced hard and should be able to beat him. He'll say that his grandfather's cards will help him, but that fruitcake won't give him any assistance.
His cards. His cards were a gift, you could say, from my grandfather. When he died, he was cremated and he had his ashes put into the mix that made cards.
He always goes on about his cards, how his grandfather was cremated and put into them.
He was a strange man. He was an autodidactic man who demanded perfection from himself and those who were around him. He'd wear this red leather strap around his chest, or midriff area, just below the nipples. My grandfather had all these weird ideas. Like, he noticed that the Kiwi male had a proclivity towards drinking a lot of beer, and he invented this beer flavoured milk and pork flavoured gum. That didn't go down so well.
You know, he says is the man. Steven Seagal, he lived in Asia, so you know he's keeping it real.
Got this fascination with Steven Seagal. He's like a real kick-ass guy.
On Deadly Ground is one of the most subliminal movies I've ever seen. There's this scene in a bar where a prick's picking the shit with Steven Seagal, and he's so calm, you know what I mean? That's a sign of a great actor. When he's fighting, when he isn't. When he's talking, when he's not. He's the same in every scene. That's what I love about Steven Seagal. He's the man to fuck.
He's weak. He's weak. You see, Slade and I, we went to school together, but you know, we didn't know each other so well. Like, I hung out with the cool kids.
Brian used to hang out with the cool kids. He only used to hang out with them because none of them had the balls to tell him to fuck the fuck off.
I did this talent quest thing where I showed them like what clipping actually was and how hard it was, and you should have seen the school, man. It went off. Everybody thought I was so cool after it, eh? And it was like, you know, I'd go to parties and it was like people would be too intimidated to talk to me, eh?
He went into the talent quest and did this gay clipping thing, you know? And me always being great at sports and school and stuff, I thought, I can beat him.
Was their strike bowler, and I kept wicket.
Like, he opened the batting for like the third 11. A massive drama about it, like his dad had threatened one of the other boys in there.
My father wasn't the coach, but he always used to like to come along and help, and eventually he'd start taking over.
My banjo here, which like most things in life, like my Tai Chi and my clown ability, you know, I taught myself how to play this thing.
Brian and his banjo. God, what a homo. He was like that at school, you know, walking around with that banjo case like he was cock of the fucking roost.
Been playing for about 4 or 5 years now, and when I feel bad or feel a bit low, a bit depressed, you know, I'm a little bit anxious, you know, with the upcoming tournament, you know, I can always rely on my banjo. I love this thing.
Somebody obviously forgot to tell him that the banjo is the instrument most preferred by rapists.
The only way you can be in touch with nature is if you fully allow the tactile sensations of us up your anus, so rubbing fern across your bare chest, muscly calves. Slade's last name, Firewhite, is not actually his real last name. Like, his last name was Ficken. The next time I see him, he's this big hotshot clipper who reckons he's gonna take me on and shit. Well, you just think his last name was Ficken and he's changed to Firewhite. I mean, it's gotta say something about his character. I mean, really.